but thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not day of in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politics. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Lórí YouTube, Mayegun diary, Mayegun gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary.
Thank you so much for joining me the first time in the new month of May. Share this broadcast. It is going to be an interesting night, as always. Thank you.
Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Godfatherism. Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun diary.
Share this broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today.
Ani Suraki. Mayegun today.
That's it.
Mayegun today. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú Suraki. Mayegun today. Ani Suraki. Lórí Facebook.
Thank you so much for joining me once again in this new month. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Just tell them that. Olówó.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Ayé ẹ̀sùn aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òun.
It's coming to that part. Tag the Buhari idiots, the Buhari days, the Buhari diderins, the Buhari denotus, the Buhari dijatus, the Buhari shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unneka Aris, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, the sophisticated morons, the ombudsman slaves. Tag all the cyber barbarians. Check on all of the Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris. Tell them that Mayegun today.
Mayegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Suraki. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n ní ràn-ún. Mayegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Suraki. Mayegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú
Suraki. Ẹ kú lé o. That is, good morning, or should I say peace be unto you after the regular greeting, morning, afternoon, evening, all good to all of the lovers of truth, the disciples, as well as the brethren in the temple of truth. You made it to May. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to us. The shege that APC Egbekegbe represents is about to transform into something even bigger. So we should be adieu to those who are not going to make it to the end of that of Kolu. But before we get down to business, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of picked something up earlier that I think I should share with you before we go fully into this. I have been reading everywhere the moment the news broke that Seyi, my namesake, Seyi Tinubu, coughed out $11 million or pounds. Well, they said that it's 11 million pounds cash to buy a house that the court in Nigeria gave EFCC the right to take over because it is from the proceeds of fraud, corruption against Nigeria. Long story. So tonight, I'm going to share that story with you. But I have seen the born to suffer head-on-boot slaves who have kind of decided to twist it. And I started seeing young people in Nigeria. They are now praying, 11 million pounds cash. Poverty die, poverty die. Omo, see money. Instead of you to be jealous, you are just jealous of this young man. 11 million pounds cash. Omo, God, please. Am I a tree? Am I a lamppost? Am I a street light? God, why can't you just give me the same money so that I can just be, instead of me to be complaining that somebody spent 11 million pounds cash. Somebody will not get job. So in my head, I was like, Omo, before I start this program tonight, young people, whether you are in Nigeria or you are not in Nigeria, do you know the kind of prayer you should be praying? The spirit of looting, the spirit of greed, the spirit of stealing, die. Looters, thieves, manipulators, die. Because if you are praying, say now poverty, because the people who created poverty, now them you they take pray, say may God end your poverty so that you can be like them. As a young person, that will be where we will start from, because you need to know the story. If you are from Nigeria, at first, the purpose of this conversation is not it's not an attempt, okay, to see if we can then make them do the right thing and get the criminals punished or whatever in Nigeria. No. Nigeria is a criminal epicenter. Nigeria is a crime scene. Name your kind of crime. You go see them for Nigeria. And they are legal. Depends on which side of the map you come from. If you should go and venture into any crime in Nigeria and you are from southern Nigeria, maybe, but if you can't be an Igbo, can't go involved in illegal anything, now you then go take do scapegoats. Example of how bad crime is. But on the side that are always covered, trust me, you can get away with any crime in Nigeria. If them burn you now, you go and commit crime now. Shebi, you say Nigeria is a crime scene. Oh yeah, you go and commit crime. Now if you no go to jail, I will go to jail because I know they the right click. I know it. That's why I won't commit crime. Do you understand that? But you agree with me. Nigeria is a crime scene. Epicenter of even you defending your fellow criminal leaders. Majority of you are also corrupt. And that is why I did a program 2 days ago. Normalizing abnormalities. Nigerian way. So I know that. If I commit any crime as a day, even if now traffic crime for Nigeria, I go jail or I go bribe my way out. I know that. Talk less of me stealing money, government money. When I know they click, are they mad? Shall they craze? Yoruba man, join the click, help them loot money. And you know they the click. So I know that. That's why I said Nigeria is a crime scene. So this program is not to convince you in order to probably be doing wow, like ambulance, pretending that you are okay, please. I would like you to pretend that you are surprised at some of the things I'm going to share with you. You know, I'm a very good person who tells the story. A lot of people will be like, go to the, my ego go straight to the point, Jari. My ego go straight to the point. All this thing that, leave that, go straight. Baba, you know where they go? Last time I told you, when people tell me to go straight to the point, I'm like, Shana, me and you put the destination on the map. Say we get where they go. If you know where they go with what I'm about to say, why don't you go and wait for me there? I'll go see you when I arrive in 3 hours. You know, I am somebody who can tell you the story enough that you can sit down there and truly, you can pretend that you are surprised. Wow, that you'll be sounding like ambulance in your room. I kind of like that. I wish I can see that. But you know, this is not going to change anything. Do you know that? It is not going to change anything. It is just to help you, especially those of you who are now changing from unity begging to hope trader. Hope hawkers. I have hope, Sha. I know that Tinubu is, these people are very corrupt. But I shall have hope, Sha, that, I want to have hope that Nigeria is going to be great. I just want to believe that they are going to do, God can change anybody. Even if you think they are all thieves, they are all drug dealers, blah, 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 blah. But God can, I have hope. Now hope then the hawk now. They go tell you to make you have hope. Since nothing where you go do. Nothing where you feel do. They say Kalu will be sworn in. Sure you get. And nothing where babanlaku, my yegun go do. But my babanlaku, yanlaku, they are dead. Therefore, of course, nothing where they go do. They don't do anything. But the purpose of this broadcast is to help you understand your hope. So that when you begin to sell your children for the rika of rice, or a Congo of rice, or Congo of gari, you will remember that Mayegun told you that time, but that time I think say Mayegun na enemy of progress. Tinubu never even can enter. This Mayegun don't they talk. No. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what you are bringing upon yourselves. The evidence are everywhere. So when I finish the story of 11 million pound sterling house, the story of APC, Egbekegbe, that is selling the Kool-Aid of fighting corruption. If you have 2 minutes video where Tinubu, during your charade campaign, where Tinubu said he will fight corruption and how he is going to fight corruption, I will give you ₦1 million. Cut this part of the video. What time is it? 16 minutes to this video. If you can find any clip or where Tinubu explained how he is going to fight corruption or what he's going to do to anybody that steals government money in Nigeria during your charade campaign, or in his manifesto, manifesto of APC, where he stated there what he's going to do to thieves who steal government money, I will give you ₦1 million. Again, this video started from the 16 minutes of this broadcast to 16 minutes 45 seconds. Cut it out and reach out. APC Egbekegbe with Buhari in charge. Pastor Ruga deputizing. They told you they were coming to fight corruption. I remember very well. I told you, I said, no, they are not coming to fight corruption. They are coming to legalize corruption. Until the people that near, they were like, if I see this Mayegun, if I see this Mayegun, I go beat him. If I see this Mayegun, I go punch him. In 2015, because Mayegun said, your leaders are criminals, the jihadists met with kleptomaniacs. And then the combination is like a bazooka bomb, locally made bomb that has now exploded in Nigeria, ruined Nigeria economy, ruined Nigeria jobs, ruined Nigeria defense, ruined Nigeria money, the currency, ruined Nigeria source of revenue, and destroy everything that you can say. And indeed, divided Nigeria beyond anything anybody can actually comprehend. Seriously, that's the combination of both. I did one. Shut up your mouth. I won't shut up my mouth. Because some of you, when Nigeria finally hold you shook, when that hope that the Kool-Aid you are telling yourselves, when you are done with the peanuts they are promising you, you will come back and say, Mayegun, you said it. And here is the story. The Agbadomaiti, the Lagos Sabo Bakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the Yoruba xenophobic APC, Egbekegbe, the ass lickers, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the original sufferheads. They said the moment Bokwari enter, thieves should vacate Nigeria. Esalo. If not, Bokwari is ready to jail you and recover all you have stolen from Nigeria. 6 months into the madness, after they said body language was defeating Boko Haram, then the body language was giving them regular electricity in Nigeria. Bokwari didn't do anything. Oh, they said his body language is changing Nigeria. 4 months after that, body language changed to body odor. Power no day. National grid of Nigeria collapsed like Dakudaji, I better pass my neighbor generator, Tiger generator. And it became the normal thing, right? Okay. The thieves that were known, very popular, in people destroying people, they started jumping ship. The humbled slaves, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all-risers, their uncles and aunties abroad, the mumumadus, the belle lecturers, the mumu lecturers. They said, there is no permanent friends or permanent enemy in politics. I was like, oh, including thieves. Right? Let's see how this goes. Dasuki Gate, one of those starlight time. Dasuki Gate. The reasons why Boko Haram was so powerful in Nigeria, according to APC, Egbekegbe, was because 2.2 billion US dollars that were meant for procurement of arms and ammunition for the Nigerian military to fight and combat terrorism was shared by the National Security Advisor to the then President, Goodluck Egbere Jolantan. It was a scandal. That was when we realized that from the money, they used that to prosecute the 2015 elections. And it was a show. It was a show of shame. non-respected criminals. So PDP, they officially came out when they said one person collected about 4 billion naira for prayers so that Jonathan will win from Dasuki. For food, Kayode, Femi Foni Kayode collected his own share from Dasuki to promote social media acceptance for good luck Jonathan. Ruben Abati collected his own about 500 million naira. They called it entertainment for journalists from Dasuki. It was a mad show. Remember Obanikoro? Yes, Musili Obanikoro. Fauleshe, the one that is also from Ekiti. The money was just like everywhere. An elderly respected, a respected elderly man, Chief Olufalaye, also collected. You know, he represented SDP. He's the leader of a political party called SDP. From Dasuki Gate, Baba went to Abuja. They gave him some money. Baba take, how much you go take to make SDP support Jonathan PDP? He billed them 1 billion. They paid him. Baba got back to Akure, called the elders, gave them 500 million, and said that's how much they gave him from Abuja. And it was when Dasuki Gate happened that they discovered that everybody, you know, she can just say shop each other's intestine. Like Dasuki Gate was a bazaar. Even Bokuwari collected. I'll tell you. You remember when they were doing the campaign and Bokuwari's convoy got attacked by terrorists in Zaria, remember? And Bokwari came down out of the blast and he walked around and people rushed out to say, hey, my Gasikia, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, the Sai Barbarians. It was a show, Baba. That show cost Nigeria. Bokwari collected 300,000 US dollars and 2 bulletproof USV vehicles from the office of the NSA, Dasuki, National Security Advisor. Dasuki Gate. It was a mess. Bokwari said he collected the SUV for his protection, but he didn't remember if he collected $300,000. From that moment on, Dasuki Gate didn't continue. Dasuki just remained in detention, according to the media. Dasuki did detention. In wife, they get belle. Dasuki, they do naming ceremony. He did detention, no. But because Bokwari will be called in as a witness, because of that, Dasuki Gate died a natural death. And guess what? Majority of those who participated in Dasuki Gate, according to APC, that came to fight corruption, they ended up in APC, and they became chieftains of APC, to help Buhari to fight corruption. It's not just Dasuki Gate that happened in the early stage of this charade. We also have Diezani Allison-Madueke, Diezani Gate. Diezani Gate was in fact a story of its own. And in fact, it is the story that gave birth to this 11 million pound sterling house in John's Wood, St. John's Wood in London. Baba, you still say the story long, Abby? I tell you, the story long. If you like stories, to understand, you see, you have read about it. Tinubu son buy house in London, no big deal. No be so that they do. They go steal your money, to launder the money, to clean the money up. They will buy properties. After a few years, they will sell the property, okay, and then the money is clean. So every politician in Nigeria is a billionaire before they join politics. According to them, they don't reach. Sure, you get only for them to now join to be in charge of the resources of their state, and then the state will begin to go down. Poverty continue to increase, money continue to go missing, projects uncompleted. But this man is now a big man. After 4 years, he's now a multi-billionaire that can even afford a private jet. Do you understand? So, the story of fighting corruption. Diezani Allison-Madueke. She happened to be the wife of a prominent politician. He's late now. Now, this prominent politician's wife became the petroleum minister in Nigeria. First woman to be a petroleum minister in Nigeria. And in fact, first non-presidential, no, I don't know how to describe that too. In Nigeria, The president of Nigeria is the minister of petroleum. Sure, you get. When Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria, he was the minister of petroleum. When Yaradua became minister of, president of Nigeria, he was the minister of petroleum until Jonathan came. I'm not sure. I didn't cross-check that too. I think you should fact-check me there. I'm not sure if Yaradua had the minister or not. I think a state minister. Anyway, Yaradua came, appointed Diezani, a Niger Delta Amazon, a woman who actually knew our onions. She wasn't from record, right? She wasn't like a pushover. You know, those quota system. No. She actually qualified for it. It's a line. So she became a full-time, substantial minister, not minister of state for petroleum. So she became second most powerful woman in Nigeria after Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, whose story is also another full story. Diezani Allison-Madueke. Nothing much was known about her. Nothing really much, other than just minister doing her thing and all of that. Then, Sahara reporters started following up some investigations abroad against those who are friends of Madueke, the minister in Nigeria. And these guys, let me see if I can still see their faces here. Jide Omokore, and Kolawole. What's his name again? Sorry, I don't know. I just kind of Aluko. Kolawole Aluko is the one on the right. Jide Omokore is the one on the left. The two of them, they were meant to be international businessmen. So they met with Diezani. They made a proposal to our office. It's called oil swap. Nigeria would take crude oil to some certain countries. And Nigeria will get back some certain product from that crude oil. And from whatever thing that happened in between, they will take their own cut and they will pay back Nigeria what belonged to Nigeria. So it was meant to be like a clean deal like that. So being close to the Minister of Petroleum, they got the deal. So because they got the deal, for years, they have been lifting that crude oil. And they have also raised suspicion in some certain countries all over the world. Like the amount of money they were like using in buying properties, automobiles, you know what I mean? Gambling. And they're like, so what happened was, when they got the deal, no penny was given back to Nigeria. They got the license to keep lifting the crude oil of Nigeria for years. But instead of paying Nigeria what they agreed, they just decided to sponsor the lavish lifestyle of Diezani, like gold jewelries, beautiful apartments in choice areas in Lagos. You know what I mean? Trips, holiday for choice people that Diezani put up and all that. So the money that should come to Nigeria, they were just taking care of Madam. So while Madam was minister in Nigeria, these two people, they were being investigated all over the world. So Sahara reporters now raised that. APC lashed on that. Then collect their own share. When they hold Diezani, say, you see where Diezani was like, okay, fine, you don't catch me. What do you want? They collected money from her for the election. They were the same election that Jonathan was contesting. Diezani had to give APC money. Bokwari's campaign. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Just to buy a place. Not sure if they are going to win or not, but they caught her. So when Jonathan lost, and APC was about to take power, Diezani left Nigeria for the UK. Around that time, APC, they built their case based on the media information of what's going on here and there, or court documents here and there. They now build their case around that. They approached court in Nigeria, where they asked the court to give them the forfeiture order to take over all of the properties linked to Diezani, linked to the Gidi Omokore, linked to Kolawole Aluko. So, in 2016, a court in Nigeria granted that request. So, it was now left for the Nigerian government, EFCC, to take that judgment and approach different courts all over the world where some of these properties are already cause of litigation in these countries. Do you know how much America collected from Aluko in America? $53 million with other properties they took from him in America. All these properties are proceeds of crime, right? That Nigeria needed to do is just to go and present their own side and they can take over all these properties. Sure, you get, sell them off, get the money, and return the money back to Nigeria. Are you following this? Are you? Okay. Nigeria didn't do that. There was nowhere Nigeria is in court laying claim to all these fraudulent, corrupt properties. Even though anti-corruption campaigner Bukwari is fighting corruption. The media in Nigeria is awash with different stories. But the properties, all their properties in Nigeria, they've taken over that one. All of the listed properties of Diezani, Gidi Omokore, and then Aluko, they've taken them over in Nigeria. In fairness to them. But you see, this particular house in London, it was also listed as part of the properties that Nigerian government want to claim back as far back as 2016. So how did this property now ended up in the hands of Tinubu and his son after parting with 11 million pounds sterling cash? How? Here is the story. Remember, 2016 is just about a year after APC, Egbekegbe, took over government. Before then, there was a case. Also, there was this case too. In fact, there were two. There was this particular case too, where they said other people also made a deal of oil swap, that they took crude oil from Nigeria, 2.1 billion US dollars. When APC Egbekegbe came in, Malamu chased that money. They got that money back and they shared it among themselves. Today is one of the reasons why Malamu could end up in jail. Don't say never. No, don't say never yet. Okay? I know they get away with all their crimes, but at the same time, these are open compromise on themselves when they want to use any scapegoat, right? To make some of you feel happy that karma is at work. Somebody like that can be thrown under the bus in a twinkle. That is coming back right now. They are probing that 2.1 billion US dollars that Malamu and his own friends, that they mellowed. All of this, so from 2016, now fast forward to 2017. Something. Okay, no, hang on. Let us rewind a bit from 2016. Let's go back a bit to 2015. In 2015, a company is a fake shell company. Let me explain what a shell company is. in layman words. I know a lot of you know what shell company is. Fine. Let me speak to those who don't understand them. Shell companies are like seashell, korofo. You see, empty shell. Nothing is in it. Okay? So there are companies that are registered. Okay? They will have all of the registration, company registration details that you need to have. But they don't have office. They don't have any contact or anything. They don't trade anything. They don't buy. They don't sell. They don't do anything. They are just a kind of idiot's way that rich people hide their wealth. Sure, you get. If you are so rich now and you don't want to be paying all of the taxes on your investments, you want to hide them away. It is not illegal. It is very legal. Sure, you get. Even though a lot of countries are fighting it and fighting it like this is not. But unfortunately, the people that are pretending to be fighting it, they are also the people that are doing it. Politicians, businessmen, all these big, you know. So if you don't want government taxman to take all your money, if you have so much money, so you can divert some of them by putting them in shells. So they have these people who run them. They're like money launderers, okay? There are countries where you are allowed, right, to have those shell companies. And their laws protects you, your identity, the owners, everybody. Nobody will know who is the owner. You can have millions there. Many of your politicians who have stolen money, who died, some of their money that they never have access to anymore till they had, their family will never have access to them. Some of this money are in these shell companies. Anyway, so these shell companies, right? If you are making your money and you are hiding it away, right? Now your money. But drug dealers, money launderers, politicians, corrupt politicians, okay? Thieves, terrorists, they use these same shell companies to clean their money. All you have to do is this: when you are ready, they will introduce you to them. And when you're introduced, they will give you some, you are going to like part with some percentage. So when they receive your money, once they receive the money from you, they will now reinvest the money. For example, they may decide to go and buy a factory. They may decide to go and invest in properties, houses. They may buy anything up just to tie the money temporarily. And the money is always going to be like constantly moving, or whatever you want it. So when you want that money cleaned, so the company will be the ones to buy those things, not you, your name or anything, not really. So they will buy it, but you being the CEO of that shell company, that fake company. So for example, let's say you steal as a governor in Nigeria, okay? Let's say you steal 5 billion naira. You are not just going to go to the bank and withdraw 5 billion naira and say, from the account of the state, I'm taking. No. The money is stolen. The money are stolen by the bogus contract that they award to some of these bogus foreign companies executing bogus contract or projects across Nigeria. You know, when you have companies in Nigeria from different parts of the world, and they say they are into construction, and you corrupt politician, you know them, you are partners. So you give them contract of billions of naira. So when you pay them, so they can repatriate that money themselves in their name, not your name, and move it into your different accounts in your shell company. Your shell company holders, right? They can reinvest the money. The money will go to British Virgin Islands, Cayman Island or so, and so many other islands like that, where those money are reclaimed. Then the company will now come back to UK to buy properties. Sure, you get. It will just be like, well, my company bought the property even though I didn't buy it directly. Do you see how they do the cleaning? So corrupt people use that form so that they don't go and, you won't see most of your corrupt politicians that will buy properties in their names. So these shell companies can buy them in the name of their children, name of their girlfriends, name of their siblings, brothers or sisters, They can buy them in any names. They can even buy them in fake names. The ID card and the rest of them that they have put together for them. So this is how things run, okay? So Nigeria, who want to take over the property that is a proceed of corruption, in 2016, 2015, a shell company called Aronda. You see, this Aronda company doesn't exist, okay? But when you look at those, when the this international investigative journalists, when they dug deeper, right, they found out that the owners of this Shell Aronda company, in a Pandora paper that you must have seen before, right? I know some of you actually remember Pandora and Peter Obi. She remember. Now, this Aronda company was owned in the name of Boyega Oyetola, the former governor of Osun State. So the former governor of Osun State, who was the owner of this Aronda company in British Virgin Islands. So in 2015, that company received a transfer of over 2.5 billion naira from Alpha Beta, the tax collector in Lagos. Yes, you heard me right. Now, the Shell company, that is another company, has a link, again, to, a link with another Lebanese company that is actually on the radar for drug smuggling. I can't remember the name right now, because that's actually not where I'm going with this. So when Alpha Beta transferred money to another offshore account owned by Oyetola, Oyetola is a cousin to Tinubu. So Oyetola doesn't have to be the owner of the money in that account, but he's holding it for him, and it won't be in Tinubu's name. So in 2016, a Dutch bank, which is a German bank also, put a foreclosure on this house in London because Kolawole Aluko, who was then a fugitive on the run, and I think he is still on the run right now, wanted like Osh Poppy, had used that same house, a multi-million pound sterling house in London. He had used it as a collateral for loan from a bank in Germany. And the bank therefore put a foreclosure, which means they want to sell the house. And they are ready to sell to anybody to recoup their money. Guess who showed up in 2017? Aronda, the shell company of Oyetola, which in 2016, by the way, transferred the ownership of the company to Seyi Oluwaseyi Tinubu, a jobless son of Tinubu, the Lagos kleptomaniac. Are you following my story? All of now, where they shout, poverty die, poverty die. No. Greed is what should die, because their greed is what has created the poverty. Okay? He has no job. He is put in charge of an advertising agency in the same Lagos State, just same way they made his own sister, Folashade, a Iyaloja General of Lagos. Wherever there is market in Lagos, if you are a trader in Lagos, even if you are inside a small shop, you are there courtesy of Folashade Tinubu. Seyi was just there too. They just opened shop for him, advertising agency. But that couldn't have fetched him 11 million pounds in 2016. Of course, the ownership of the company was transferred to Seyi. And in 2017, he showed up with 11 million pounds sterling cash, and he paid for Kolawole Aluko's house in London. Spent another 2.5 million pounds sterling on extension, refurbishment, and all that it would take. Today, the property is valued at over 15 million pounds sterling. Did I hear you scream? Ajeo! Oh, whoa! No, stop screaming. You should be screaming the poverty you mentioned just now: schools, roads, water, electricity, job, security, and all the things that this money could have done. Or even after stealing this kind of money from the covers of everywhere they got it from, of course, it's illegal money. That's why I didn't buy it directly. Yeah? Imagine if they have to invest that nearly 10 billion naira in something productive, something like a productive company in Nigeria that is paying tax. To the government in Nigeria. You know, when companies pay tax, governments make money. You have a job and you probably have to live a standard life. If all of them using your money to buy properties abroad, if they decided to just invest that billions in Nigeria just to create jobs, it will be a win-win. They are looting, Abi. They are creating jobs. They are paying taxes. Whether they are, you know what I mean? Somehow, it won't be a lose-lose for you. Stop shouting at jail. Now you're picking school fare. Now you're picking schools. Now in that they take buyout. So it's not because they are hardworking. It's not because they are smarter. It's because they are greedy. They are selfish. And they are criminals. So an idea of what to come. Suddenly, Bokwari don't forget, say, now the money from the crude oil of Nigeria stolen by Diezani and our friends, that they used to buy the house in the first place before a German bank foreclosed it. And Tinubu and family showed up. Seyi had no job because suddenly had nearly 10 billion naira and he paid cash. And the EFCC in Nigeria, not alarmed, and Bokwari showed up in the house in 2021. The same house. Bokwari slept in the house, then gave him kunu, he drank kunu in the house, then changed him pampers in the house, then changed him bedsheets in the house. Bokwari slept in the corrupt, fraudulently acquired property. He slept there. And what can you do? What can you say? He didn't know, of course. And suddenly, it is now Tinubu's property. I mean, I don't know how to put that. So that's not hard work. That's not being smart. That's not like somebody is eating, okay? It is just called, it is called self-destructive. You are not doing yourself any better. And if they could pull this off in Lagos, now they have Nigeria. So scandals like this, you should begin to get, you see, all of you will be Tinubu supporters. Here you get, you know, between us, there is no love lost. Here you get, you don't like me, I don't like you. But I'm somebody who can always speak something that you should go and think about if you are still kind of using that brain, okay? A lot of people believe that you don't need your brain anymore once you join APC. Therefore, you will likely never use your brain. But I can get you thinking. Yeah, I can make you, okay, get you thinking. So they have Nigeria, and when they finally capture Nigeria officially in 27 days, I'm sorry if I'm actually making you feel like, oh no, why you don't talk like that? Baba, you talk like that too. You're talking about Nigeria, only man talk like that. These ones, who killed, who burned, who destroyed, who provide, and the rest of that. You think, say, this next 27 days, any battle where you won't bring them already? But we'll come back to that. Just relax. Next 27 days, the shege will be official. And then that is when you are going to see Remi Werekwe in action. She go get her own kaba. because she's a stepmom to Seyi. Seyi campaigned for his dad. It was everywhere. It was part of those who put the team together, the people who are going to buy the influencers on social media, those who are going to, promote propagandas on WhatsApp and the rest. Seyi supervised all of that, and he paid them. He paid them. You get? So, Seyi is authority on his own in Tinubu's government. I want you to begin to get the idea. Maybe what I'm saying right now is going to make the Lagos Abobaku feel like, hey, you are talking. Oh, you I'm not talking. No, I'm trying to let you see the motive. Sorry, they call it Hydra-headed Shege. So you know what is called Hydra-headed Shege. You know when Shege come, when Bokwari Shege they come, it came with one head. As you see if you see Buhari Shege, you shall not remain the same again. Ask 140 million Nigerians who are now living in multi-dimensional poverty in just 7.5 years. Now, one straight-head Shege. The kind of Shege where they make Nigeria, they use Naira to buy Naira. Are you with me? The kind of Shege where they make people will be say supposed to be the giant of Africa. If you leave your Naira in your pocket and rain they fall, you go run like person will be say they won't kidnap. When they ask you why, it's if rain beats me with this money, I am penniless. That's Nigeria. I want it like that. Failure personified. Sure, you get like failure where they waka, where they get a swagger. Now Bokwari and Pastor Ruga be that. No get shame. Shameless as they talk. You can never shame the shameless. Now one face like that. If you bite you, you're not going to remain the same. And everything with that in touch died.